The night in Dandala was silent. The wind had stopped, the crickets refused to sing, and even the trees seemed to hold their breath. Amina sat outside her family's hut, staring at the glowing moon. Inside, her younger brother Sonny coughed and struggled to breathe. The healers had tried herbs, chants, and charms, but nothing had helped. Amina's eyes filled with tears. She lifted her face to the moon and whispered, "Please, take anything from me. Just let my brother live." The air turned cold, and a strange light spilled across the ground like a silver path. A deep voice filled the night. "Amina of Dandala, I have heard your cry. I can hear your brother, but you must pay the price. Complete 7 tasks under my light. Fail once, and your brother will never rise again." Fear trembled through her, but she thought of Sonny's laughter and his tiny hands. "I accept," she said. The light pulsed like a heartbeat. The journey had begun. The next night the moon's voice returned. "Your first task awaits." The silver path stretched toward the forest. Amina followed, her feet heavy but her heart firm. She came to a wide river. Its waters roared, dark and dangerous, with sharp rocks breaking the surface. "Bring me water from the other side," the moon commanded. Amina's chest tightened. How could she cross? The river twisted like a snake, threatening to swallow her. She spotted a fallen log bridging part of the stream. With trembling steps, she crawled across, the water spraying her face. Her hands bled from gripping the wood, but she made it. She filled a calabash with the cold water and carried it back. The moonlight glowed softly. She had passed her first test. The second task came quickly. The moon's voice whispered, "Bring me the drum of the hidden spirits." She followed the glowing path into a clearing deep in the forest. There stood a giant drum, taller than her, surrounded by shadows. She stepped closer, but the shadows moved, figures with glowing eyes. Her heart raced. She remembered her grandmother's words, "Spirits fear courage more than spears." Amina raised her chin, clapped her hands, and shouted, "I am not afraid of you." Her voice echoed. The spirits hissed and melted back into the trees. With shaking hands, she struck the drum. Its sound roared like thunder, and the shadows vanished. She carried the drum back, her legs trembling. The moon's light shimmered with approval. The third night, the moon commanded, "Find the mask of truth hidden in the shrine." The shrine was old, with cracked walls covered in vines. Amina entered, her steps soft as the wind. Inside, rows of wooden masks stared at her with hollow eyes. She had to choose the right one. Whispers filled the air, confusing her mind. She shut her eyes and remembered the moon's words, "The truth is light." When she opened her eyes, she saw one mask glowing faintly. She lifted it carefully. The whispers stopped. The air grew calm. She carried the mask outside, and the moonlight touched it, sealing her success. The fourth task came with a warning. "Bring me the flower that blooms only in the Valley of Silence." The valley was far, where even birds refused to sing. The silence pressed against Amina's ears, heavy and strange. In the center grew a single glowing flower, its petals silver like the moon. As she stepped forward, the ground cracked, and a dark figure rose, tall, with a face hidden in shadow. It reached out with long arms. Amina's body shook, but she remembered Sonny's weak smile. She knelt, snatched the flower quickly, and ran. The figure howled, but could not leave the valley. She burst out of the silence, gasping for breath, the flower clutched tightly in her hand. She had passed again, though fear still gripped her chest. The fifth night, the moon said, "Climb the old mountain and bring me the stone of strength." The mountain was tall and cruel, its rocks sharp and steep. Amina's hands bled as she climbed. The wind howled, pulling her dress, trying to throw her down. Halfway up, her foot slipped, and she dangled over the dark void. Tears filled her eyes, but she forced herself higher. She thought of Sonny, of his laughter when he chased fireflies. That memory gave her strength. At the top, she found the glowing stone resting in a crack. She grabbed it, pressed it to her chest, and whispered, "For you, Sonny." The moon shone brighter, and the path led the way back down. She had survived 5 tasks, but her journey was far from over. The 6th task came on a night when the moon was thin, sharp like a blade. Its voice whispered low and heavy. "Amina, bring me the golden bird that sings at midnight." Her path led into the forest, deeper than she had ever gone. The air grew thick, filled with rustling leaves and eyes watching her from the dark. At last she found it, a bird shining like fire, perched high in a baobab tree. Its feathers glowed, and its song carried sadness that made her heart ache. Amina climbed the tree slowly, her hands scraping against the rough bark. As she reached for the bird, it flapped its wings and flew higher. She nearly fell, but she steadied herself and whispered softly, "Please, little one. I need you." The bird tilted its head, and for a moment, it seemed to understand her. It fluttered down and landed on her arm. With gentle care, she carried it back. When the moonlight touched the bird, it vanished, leaving behind only a feather. The task was complete. The 7th task was darker than the rest. "Bring me fire from the hill of shadows," the moon commanded. The hill glowed faintly red in the distance. As Amina climbed, she felt heat on her face. At the top, she saw a great fire guarded by shadowy forms. They hissed, their eyes glowing like burning coals. Amina's heart pounded. She stepped forward with her calabash, but the shadows closed in. Her body trembled, yet she remembered her grandmother's wisdom: fire does not fear fire. She grabbed a burning branch and held it high. The shadows shrieked, retreating from the flames. Quickly, she filled the calabash with fire and fled down the hill. The blaze inside the bowl never died, even as she reached the village. The moon glimmered, pleased with her courage. By the 8th night, Amina's body was weak, her feet blistered, her hands covered in cuts. Still, she pressed on. The moon's voice returned, cold and final. "Your last task is the hardest. Bring me the heart of fear." She followed the glowing path to a wide plain. In its center rose a dark figure, taller than the tallest man, its face hidden in shadow. Its presence filled her chest with dread, pressing down like a weight. The figure stepped forward. Its voice was a growl. "You cannot defeat me. I am every fear you have ever known." Amina's legs shook, but she remembered Sonny's weak smile, his voice calling her name. With trembling hands, she lifted the stone of strength and the mask of truth. The figure roared, stumbling back as the light grew stronger. Her voice cracked but steady. She cried, "I am not afraid of you." The figure screamed, crumbled into dust, and vanished. In its place lay a small glowing heart. She picked it up, her hands still shaking. She had won the final task. That night, the moon appeared brighter than ever. Its voice echoed above the village. "Amina, you have done well. You have given me courage, truth, fire, and heart. Now your brother shall be healed." Inside the hut, Sonny stared. His coughing stopped, his breath grew steady, and color returned to his cheeks. His eyes fluttered open, weak but smiling. "Amina," he whispered. Tears rolled down her face as she held him close. "I promised I would not fail you." The villagers gathered, whispering of her bravery. Some called her blessed, others feared her. But Amina knew the truth: her strength was born from love. Days passed, and Sonny grew stronger. Amina tried to return to normal life, but the memory of the moon's voice haunted her. Some nights, when she looked up, she thought she saw its glow watching her, waiting. The village praised her courage, yet fear lingered in her heart. For though she had completed the tasks, she wondered if the moon's promise was truly finished, or if one night, under its silver light, it would call her again. The nights after the tasks were not peaceful for Amina. Though Sonny's health returned, her own heart carried shadows. She often dreamed of the river's roar, the spirits guarding the drum, the glowing bird, and the dark figure she had faced. Each night she woke trembling, clutching her chest. Sonny would sometimes notice and ask softly, "Are you afraid, Amina?" She would smile and shake her head, but deep down, fear lingered. She wondered if the moon had truly released her. One evening, as the sun dipped low, the elders called Amina before the village. "Your courage has saved your brother and protected us," they said. "But we sense a strange power around you." Whispers spread through the crowd. Some looked at her with admiration, others with unease. Amina bowed her head, uncertain. She had not chosen this path, she only wanted to save her brother. That night, the moon rose, round and bright. Its glow filled the hut. Amina froze when she heard the familiar voice. "Amina," it said, "come yet heavy, you have completed the tasks, but my bond with you is not broken. Great courage leaves a mark. You now belong to the light and the shadows." Her heart sank. "But I did what you asked. I gave everything. Why can't you leave me alone?" The voice softened. "Because your spirit has touched mine. One day, I will call on you again. You cannot run from it." Amina sat trembling. She wanted to scream, to refuse, but she knew the moon spoke truth. Her life had changed forever. The days turned into weeks. The village tried to return to normal, but strange things began to happen. At night, silver paths sometimes appeared at the edge of the forest. Children claimed they saw glowing figures near the shrine. Even the elders admitted the air felt different, heavy with unseen eyes. Some villagers blamed Amina. She brought the spirits too close, they whispered. Others defended her, saying, without her, Sonny would be dead. Amina walked through the village with her head low, carrying the weight of both fear and respect. She loved her people, but she felt apart from them, marked by the moon. One afternoon, as Amina fetched water from the river, she saw her reflection shimmer strangely. The moon's glow appeared in her eyes though the sun was still high. She gasped, stumbling back. The calabash fell, spilling water onto the ground. She realized then that the moon's power had not just tested her. It had left something inside her, something that might grow. The thought filled her with both wonder and fear. When she returned home, Sonny greeted her with laughter. He was strong again, chasing chickens and splashing water at the well. His joy reminded her why she had endured the tasks. Yet she could not ignore the truth, the moon had changed her forever. That night, Amina climbed the small hill outside the village and sat under the stars. She whispered to the moon, "You may have marked me, but I am still myself. I will not be your servant forever." The wind carried no reply. Only silence. But deep inside, Amina felt the moon listening. Her journey was not over. It had only begun. The moon no longer spoke every night, but Amina still felt its presence. Sometimes, when she walked through the forest, she sensed a silver light moving between the trees. Sometimes, in dreams, she heard whispers calling her name. One evening, as she sat outside with Sonny, he asked, "Sister, will the moon ever leave you alone?" She held him close and whispered, "I don't know." But inside, she feared the truth. The bond was not broken. The whispers of the villagers grew louder. Some avoided her, afraid she carried curses. Others sought her out, hoping her moon-given strength could solve their problems. An old woman begged her to heal her son. A farmer asked her to bless his crops. Amina shook her head. "I am no healer, no spirit woman. I am only a sister who wanted to save her brother." Still, the villagers looked at her differently. She no longer felt like the Amina she once was. The tasks had changed her, giving her strength, but also a shadow that followed her wherever she went. One night, the moon appeared larger than ever, rising red and heavy in the sky. The voice came again, stronger than before. Amina, it said, you are bound to me. But you have a choice. Serve me fully, or break the bond at great cost. Her chest tightened. What cost? The voice echoed, if you break the bond, you will lose everything I gave you, and Sonny's life may be claimed once more. Amina's hands shook. Could she risk her brother's life again? Her heart tore between freedom and love. She stayed silent, her tears falling onto the ground. The days that followed were heavy. Amina avoided the forest, avoided the silver paths that sometimes shimmered at night. She poured her time into caring for Sonny, who laughed and played as though no shadow hung over them. But deep inside, Amina knew the truth, her story with the moon was not finished. She had faced rivers, spirits, masks, flowers, mountains, birds, fire, and fear itself. Yet the greatest test remained, the choice of her own soul. Would she live forever under the moon's command, or risk everything for freedom? On the final night, Amina climbed the old hill once more. The moon hung above, bright and unblinking. She raised her face and whispered, I gave you everything for my brother. I will not give you my life. If you must take me, then take me. But Sonny must live. The silence stretched. The moon glowed brighter, the light almost blinding. Then, slowly, the voice returned. You are braver than I expected. Very well, Amina. Your brother will live, and your soul is your own. But remember, when courage calls, the moon will remember you. The light faded. The bond was broken. Amina sank to her knees, weeping with relief. She was free at last. Yet in her heart, she knew the moon had left a mark that would never fade. And so she returned to her village, not as an ordinary girl, but as the one who faced the moon and chose love over fear. Her story became a whisper among the people of Dandala, carried from village to village. Some called her cursed, others called her blessed. But Amina herself knew the truth, she was only a sister who made a promise under the moon, and kept it. That is how Amina saved her brother's life. And please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Also hit the notification button to get notified each time I drop a fantastic video for you. Thanks for watching.